What is your honest opinion of the Bible? Misused and misunderstood. Probably not 100% accurate either, but that's just me. Personally, I don't like how people weaponize it. If you want to believe in it, cool. But don't be a judgmental Karen for the rest of us who doing believe in it. Spoiler alert. Poor plotting. The protagonist dies 2/3 of the way through. The cover's a big plus. Nice novel, but a little too long. Hard to read. Created by leaders to instill social control. Too many people believe it as literal truth and do horrible things because of it. You can use the Bible to justify nearly anything if you cherry-pick verses, which makes it a completely useless book for leading a moral life. Wild that people will base their lives around a book written thousands of years ago and translated multiple times since then. Like it never occurred to anyone that it might not be all that accurate. We should not let interpretations of a piece of fictional literature written thousands of years ago influence our lives in the modern era. I truly believe it is holding us back from progressing as a society. It's a book. Same as Harry Potter or any other fictional book. Can fictional books have good messages in it? Yes. Does that mean it's the truth and reality? No. It's an fiction novel. The fandom sucks though. Most of them anyway. Thumbs down medium dark skin tone. A tool used to manipulate the masses. Seems a bit cult-like that people constantly say read the Bible whenever you talk about anything other than straight relationships. I liked the part where God said, "It's creating time," and then created the earth. Truly one of the books of all time. Depending on the edition, it works perfectly as a prop for an uneven bed. If you read it as a piece of our history, it can be fairly interesting. There is much inside the Bible, especially given how many hands and voices made the whole book. Heck, it is called Bible exactly cause it is the book. But if you wanna use it as a moral compass, it is fairly lacking. You would do best in reading philosophy. Although that is way more complicated. You end up getting enough information and developing a culture that can help you in dealing with the problems of life. You can tell if you ever met any religious people that they either did not read the book or just do not understand it. If you read to what the ancient Christians said though, you could tell they had not only a more knitted vision of the Bible, but they were also able to interpret it in ways that people today really cannot do. IDK bro, I'm waiting for the sequel. Bible 2. The Devil Strikes Back. Too much people are using the different ideas of the God of Abraham to enforce prostitution, trafficking, child molestation, pedophilia, and slavery. 4/10 it's too damn long. There were 4 books written around 85 CE that mostly agree in their storytelling of what happened. Luke, Matthew, Mark, and John. So there probably was this leader of the Jews, Yeshua. The elder Jewish rabbis hated him because he didn't give a fuck. He just went around saying, "I'm the Son of God." That's what happens when you are obnoxious to the ruling elite. They will have you killed. I mean, it's a threat to their own job security. The part about Jesus rising from the dead and forming a holy trinity. Well, that's where traditional Jews split from modern Christians. The former don't believe in that and think it was a made-up story. Horrible writing. Characters come in all over the place with no introductions. And the narrative wanders so much. It's like a kid wrote it. Telephone game played across millennia. It's gospel. KJV is some of the most beautiful prose ever written in the English language. I mean, read this. It is really excellently crafted. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff they comfort me. Smacken. Regardless of your religious beliefs, the Bible has had a huge impact on Western literature. It seems to me that sometimes people think it was written by some higher power. No. It was written by humans. Exclusively by men. And probably very flawed men. Many centuries after the story of Jesus. I have a friend who studies the Bible every Tuesday and is very religious. She lives by the book. And she's probably the most honest, humble, and genuinely good person I've ever met. And I knew another man who was a pastor. He was the rudest, most obnoxious person I've ever met in my life still to this day. He thought he was better than you. And he wanted you to know that. So two people, guided by the same book, took two very different paths. Mythology used effectively to manipulate the emotionally desperate and gullible. It is often weaponized to attack those who choose education over blind comfort.